and I'm a sensitive.
It's my mission to investigate alleged sightings and hauntings of Hollywood ghosts.
A sensitive can detect paranormal events beyond the range of the 5 senses.
I wouldn't say I'm a non-believer, but I'm definitely a skeptic. Together, our mission is to investigate the dead famous. Our hunt for the spirit of Jayne Mansfield would take us on a poignant and disturbing voyage. From the swamps of Louisiana where she died.
Do you want me to say? I really feel her with us.
To the mythic darkness of the city of New Orleans.
But I am just getting sex.
To a plantation renowned as the most haunted location in America.
I'd be more impressed if they just went out.
It's out!
The doorknob is moving.
Before ending with a seance in the apartment where she spent her last days.
I got 3 spirits going through. Picking up the actual seconds when she died.
With her breathy voice, sexy squeaks, and curvaceous looks, and a reported IQ of 163, Jayne was one of the true sex symbols of the 20th century. Her life was a constant quest for fame, but ironically, it was her death that brought her the infamy she so craved. Jayne Mansfield died tragically in 1967 when her car slammed into the back of a truck on a fog-shrouded highway near New Orleans. Her 3 children who were asleep in the back of the car all survived.
Jayne had a keen interest in the paranormal, witchcraft, and voodoo, and flirted with the Church of Satan. So our search for her ghost will see us not only investigate the spot where she died, but also try to make contact with her in the voodoo capital of New Orleans. Will Jayne Mansfield be able to resist one last chance to step into the spotlight?
Jayne Mansfield was born Vera Jane Palmer on April the 19th, 1933 in Pennsylvania. Her formative years were spent in the Texan city of Dallas, but her heart yearned for the glamour of Hollywood. By 1958, she was a star, most famously in Will Success Spoil Rick Hunter and The Girl Can't Help It.
She was never really a legitimate actress. She was a thing.
By the time of her death in 1967, she had squeezed more into her 34 years than many people twice her age. 5 children, 3 marriages, and a career that had long since peaked. Her star was fading fast. Biloxi, a seaside resort on the Gulf Coast, most famous for the Neil Simon play Biloxi Blues, and more macabre, the place that Jayne Mansfield set off from on that fateful night in 1967. She had been in Biloxi for a series of nightclub performances where it's rumoured she'd been stripping, and it was here that I wanted to start our investigation.
What you have to understand is that Jayne Mansfield was not a star when she played Louisiana, and she really wasn't. She had gone down, down, down. Her act was terrible. I hate to say it, but it was terrible. Sorry, Jayne, but it was.
We needed to piece together the final days of Jayne's life. I sent Chris to meet photographer Wallace Reeves, who took the last known pictures of Jayne a matter of days before her tragic death.
Wallace, how did you get the opportunity to take a picture of Jayne Mansfield?
I was taking pictures of a place of business right straight across the street from there, and I spotted Jayne Mansfield because I had saw her before performing at Gus Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
And I introduced myself and asked her, could I take a couple of 3 shots? I said, that support pole there for the merry-go-round, just grab it and give me a number. She moves just like a cat. She grabbed a hold of that pole over and just as limber as a dish rag, you know, and everything when she turned, she's got a smile on.
She gave you that look.
Mm-hmm.
What was she like as a mother as you saw her with her children?
Very devoted mother. Very devoted mother. Children are first with her.
Yeah.
She carried them with her everywhere that she went, and they was with her whenever she was killed.
Now, where were you when you first heard that she had died?
I was in my place of business in the dark room, finishing prints and had a radio on, and I heard it over the radio. This was the following day.
Do you feel any connection? I mean, you were the last person to take a professional picture of her.
I was just happy about 2 things. That the children were not hurt, and if she had to go, she never had any pain with it.
On the night of her death, Jayne had taken the strange decision to leave the apartment she'd been staying in the early hours of the morning. She had been due to appear on a chat show in New Orleans the next day. I wanted to talk to Bob Bennett, whose mother owned that apartment. Now, Bob, you were around on that night when Jayne Mansfield died, weren't you, you and your mother?
I was. We had the Gallery Apartments, which is about a block from where we stand now, and Mother was babysitting. Actually, that last night here on the coast, Mother was babysitting her children. And when she came to get them, my mother told me She did her best to talk her out of taking them, and while Mother argued with her that it's a shame to wake the kids up this time of night and, you know, put them in the car and haul them to New Orleans, she said no, that's what she had to do, so my mother helped her do that. And they left probably 1:32 in the morning heading for New Orleans.
Do you remember hearing about it the next day?
Oh, of course, because I had seen her just the day before, and, you know, and it was just very sad.
If Jayne had listened to Bob's mother, perhaps we wouldn't be embarking on this journey. But she didn't. We set off on the same route that Jayne took on June the 29th, 1967, heading into Louisiana on Highway 90 towards New Orleans. The Buick was driven by Ronnie Harrison, who worked at the club where she performed, and she was accompanied by 3 of her children and her lover, Sam Brody.
See that building there? That used to be a restaurant called the White Kitchen, and it was an all-night restaurant, and that was the last place that Jayne Mansfield actually stopped at before she crashed her car on the way to New Orleans. She went in there, got some cookies, some Coke, went and used the bathroom, and then she came back out to the car. She moved her son Zoltan into the back, which effectively saved his life.
Oh, yeah.
Put him with the other children, and then she drove about 10 miles down and was killed. So this was the last place anyone would have seen her alive.
It was right down here that she died?
Yep.
All right, let's go check that out.
The highway was bathed in the warmth of a setting winter sun as we travelled the last few miles towards the crash site, Dead Man's Curve. As her car rounded a curve on a dark stretch of road, it slammed into a truck hidden by the night fog. Although her children, sitting in the back, survived, everyone sitting in the front, Jayne, Brody, and the driver Ronnie Harrison, were all killed. As night fell, we tried to find the exact spot where Jayne Mansfield died.
I mean, just imagine late at night. There's no other cars on the road. It's dark. There's no lights on this street whatsoever. And you've got a truck that's fogging the whole place. You can't see it all. I mean, that's dead dangerous. Now, let me see if I can connect with any spirits. Where was your crash, Jayne? Where was your crash? Is it in this direction? Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm. Someone's voice.
That was like a little kid's voice. Speak to us again. Is somebody calling out to us? If so, speak again. Now, you heard that. You heard that. I mean, it could be an animal, something, I don't know what kind of animal, because it sounded like a child. Or it could have been maybe some type of bird. Jayne, are you this way? Was your crash this way? I mean, do you want me to say? I mean, I really feel her with us.
You what?
I do feel her with us.
Feel her with us?
Yes. So the crash happened this way. How far this way, I don't know. But if we're being told that this is the location where it happened, then it obviously happened right over here. The question is, I don't know how far down. It's hard for me to concentrate because we've got so many distractions. You know how I am. I mean, I've really got to focus on something to be able to really tune into it. I mean, I'm getting that, I'm sensing that Jayne is around, that I'm able to pick up some of her energy. But the problem is I know it's this way. I know the accident is down here, and I know she has some type of message to tell us, but I can't tune into it. I just can't. There's just too much distraction here. I'm sorry. I can't focus on this. I just can't.
It was disappointing, but Chris believed we may have more luck in New Orleans, one of Jayne's favourite cities. It's a city with a macabre and fascinating history, and one I was keen to explore as Jayne Mansfield did years ago.
Well, we're here at the Mississippi River. The only reason that anyone came to New Orleans was because of her. She's also a spot that brought lives and brought death. Death was definitely a part of life here in New Orleans. The spirits in this town are very intense, and voodoo is definitely a part of it. Both of those things, voodoo and the Mississippi, hold much power here. 2 curses were spoken about this town that I heard growing up. One was from the Mississippi. Once you drink of her waters, you can never leave. The other was a curse of Marie Laveau. Once you came here, you always had to come back. Well, a curse or a blessing, that is up to you. There's many reasons to keep coming back. And you come back dead, or you come back alive. But you'll always revisit La Nouvelle Orleans, New Orleans.
It's been documented that Mansfield had a strong interest in the supernatural. She pursued astrology, religious cults, and was known to engage in bizarre behaviour, such as wandering around graveyards and cemeteries and visiting haunted houses. She was even rumoured to be a high priestess of the San Francisco-based Church of Satan, a mysterious organisation run by the enigmatic Anton LaVey.
She was a very devout participant in the Church of Satan. She was also personally connected at some level with Anton LaVey himself. And at some point in time, prior to coming to Biloxi and heading towards New Orleans, she severed that connection. Said that on the day that Jayne died, LaVey was cutting a picture out of a Hollywood magazine. And when he turned the picture over, he had inadvertently cut the top off of her head.
I had heard of a local psychic who claimed to have made contact with Jayne Mansfield. Eager for proof, we met up with Bloody Mary at a haunted restaurant, Muriel's.
Muriel's is not only a wonderful restaurant to eat, but it's filled with spirits of all kinds. It's in the slave quarters that most of the energy comes through, now known as the Seance Lounge. I've had a connection with Jayne Mansfield for quite a long time. We have similar lifestyles, similar tragedies.
Bloody Mary led us to the seance room, the place she felt most in contact with Jayne Mansfield. But I was not prepared for the emotions Chris started to pick up. I'd hoped that Chris had locked into Jayne's infamous sexuality. However, this wasn't the case.
I have to say this, but I am just getting sex.
We've got that slaves sex. We've picked up that on here before, but there's romance in here too.
This woman has dark hair, black, dark hair.
They're African though, right? Mulatto.
Yeah, very dark skin. But it's not really dark.
It's
like
mulatto mixed, yeah.
Yes.
We've gotten that in here before, of the lovers that were in here, and they were part of the servants of the household, and this would have been a nice little procreation meeting area.
Wow.
It was a rendezvous area.
They're just going at it.
But sexual energy is a huge part of New Orleans, too. It's part of the river, part of the things here. You have to realize that we're a Scorpio town, one of the two in the country.
Well, as soon as I walked in the door and set my foot, I had
kitty.
this smile on my face like I just, hey.
Jayne Mansfield was very sexual.
She was, and she wasn't. She was a sex symbol, but she was also a very devout mother and concerned about those things. And to balance the two was difficult for her in her life. She was searching for balance.
Jayne has been known to visit a lot of haunted places. Why do you think that was?
She was trying to connect. Maybe she was trying to explore all the ways to be able to come back, just not having knowledge of it, being so trapped in her physical self as a starlet and mother for years, at the end trying to explore as many spiritual things, including going to haunted houses, hoping to pick up on energies, to understand, to believe that it is possible, that there is a spirit later, and I can come back to take care of these.
She's still here now.
She's around.
I was intrigued by Bloody Mary's alleged insight, but though Chris and Mary had felt her presence, there was not a strong enough connection to satisfy me. The sun rose on the city of New Orleans, and so began the third day in our search for the spirit of Jayne Mansfield. We were learning a lot about the often overlooked star, and Chris was feeling a strong connection with her, but as yet, we had not had any direct contact. I knew it was Jayne's fascination with haunted locations that would prove to be the best way forward, so I'd arranged a visit to a place that Jayne allegedly visited during her time in the state. We journeyed north through the swamps and rural landscapes of the Deep South. Our destination? The small town of St. Francisville and a late 18th century plantation. Built over 200 years ago, it is a site of slavery, intrigue, and multiple homicides.
Well, this is the Myrtle Plantation, and it's supposedly one of the most haunted places in America.
You know, it's ironic that we're here because it was a month or 2 months ago I saw a documentary on this. And this was built on Indian burial ground, and during the Civil War, there's some soldiers that died here.
It looks eerie already in the daylight, the trees.
You know all those old movies you used to see that were in the South during the Civil War and all those time periods? This is exactly what it is.
Do you think we'll pick something up?
Yeah.
Myrtles has a gruesome history. Almost from its inception, the legends surrounding the plantation house have been riddled with dark tales of ghosts and ghouls. People have recounted hearing the sounds of children laughing and playing. Local legend tells of a man who had been shot on the porch, and some report the sound of this man staggering up the staircase in the dead of night and collapsing on the 17th stair. It was a place that appealed to Jayne Mansfield's interest in the macabre, and somewhere she had visited on a number of occasions. The question was, would it still hold an appeal to her, even in death? We met up with Hester Eby, Director of Tours at the Myrtles Plantation. She had an extensive knowledge of the building's history, and more importantly, its ghostly residents.
Welcome to the Myrtles. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Good.
Hester, what's the history of this place?
Built in 1796 and built by a man named General David Bradford. There's a sketch of the general to the side. John and Tita Moss own the home now. When they moved in, they were very excited, getting ready to use the upstairs as their home. In a little short of 6 weeks, Mrs. Moss said she began to change her mind. Their oldest son, J.G., was close to 3 at the time. The youngest one, Morgan, was a baby. And she said J.G. had begun to talk to people that they could not always see.
Has anything recent happened here at all?
Yesterday, one of the little boys that was with the family said that he had played with some girly friends, and he was the only small child here, but yet he said that he played with someone else.
That was yesterday?
Yes, yesterday, yeah.
Hester's stories were deeply unsettling. She took us on a tour of the house, concentrating on the most paranormally active areas.
Okay, babies. Now, this is a nice room, but this is the Fannie Williams room. Said to be able to pull in whatever type energy from outside that it would like. And a lot of people say they dream of loved ones that have passed. You know, I'm one myself. When I started working here, I didn't believe in ghosts. You know, you're Baptist, there's no such thing as ghosts. After working here for a few days, it's just something wrong.
Why do you sound so worried?
I'm not worried. I'm just concerned. I'm not really worried. It just, you know, I'm just not comfortable knowing too much. Come in, darling. Oh, look, this. Oh, but did you lay in that bed? Did you lie in here, baby? I wonder
Look
why.
at that. It looks like someone was laying down there.
Maybe
Because
two
if you
people.
look, there's an indentation right in the pillow.
I see that. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Even so, housekeeping would have done it already, because it's late evening, about 5 o'clock now. Yeah.
The ruffled bed covers could have been a prank or an oversight. We moved across the hall to another room called the John W. Leake room.
And it has the nickname Confederate Soldiers Room, and some people say that they've even saw Confederate Soldiers uniform hanging in the armoire in this room.
How are you feeling, Chris?
I feel fine. I mean, it's not like when I first walked in downstairs. I haven't felt the same type of energy yet.
Okay, you want to see the William Winters room?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Just those lights were
I'm
flickering.
going to leave all these open for you, Chris, okay? So you can just walk from one room to another tonight.
These lights were flickering.
Maybe
I'd be more impressed if they just went out.
Oh, don't say that.
Okay, one of them popped out, or all of them.
Okay, good. Oh, the one went out, didn't it?
Yep.
Did I not just say for one to go out? Did I
see
just
that?
not say for one to go out?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too much of a coincidence.
Isn't that something? It
Okay.
certainly went out.
2 of them went out.
And I was just about thinking we should move on to the next. Oh! That is terrible!
If there's really someone here and you're trying to give us a sign, then do a
Chris,
different
come
light bulb, because
on.
that light bulb just might be loose.
Chris, you said it the last time and it did it. I think that's enough. I'm going to go to
Make
the next.
another light bulb go out, please.
I'm going to go, okay? And I'm going to be right in the
come with
hallway. Okay, I'll be right
Make
in the
another
hallway.
light bulb go out, please.
Chris, come on.
It's okay, it's okay.
Oh, it's out. It's out.
Okay.
Great. Now, Chris, come on. That's enough. They did what you asked. So let's go. Now, that's good. So
All right,
let's go.
all right, we're getting some activity. That's more like it.
Yeah, it's just great. Now, this is the Judge Clark Woodruff suite here. Oh, did we open that maybe? I'll just close it. Now, this is the Judge Clark Woodruff suite.
Hey, did you close that door?
Yeah, babe, I did, but whatever. If it wants to open. I did that little lock thing, yeah. This is a beautiful room. Some say they can watch the doorknob turn from their bed in this room.
There's another
That's
bed
a little
in there.
nanny's room, yeah. Used to be where the nanny would take care of the children.
When we looked back at the footage, we heard a noise on the
That's a little
tapes.
nanny's room,
As
yeah.
Chris enters the nursery, you can hear what we think sounds like the cry of a child. Just as Hester had told us.
We have a lot of guests that say the sound of children crying take place in what used to be the children's nursery. Used to be.
I've got some equipment here that I want to test. Of course, I want to do the usual EVPs. They've said they've gotten some here of children's voices and stuff, so I'm going to see if I can get anything. But this is what I'm excited about. Now, I've got my standard, video recorder here that I'm going to put on this tripod. Did you hear that?
That guy got killed by a gunshot on his front porch.
Oh, really? And that did sound like a gunshot. All right, well, I'm excited about using this equipment here. This is a wide-angle lens. When I set this up on a tripod in one of the rooms, I'm going to get a whole section of the room, not just one small part. So if we get anything moving around, we get any lights or anything, I'm going to be able to capture that on film. Okay, well, I've got all the equipment ready here. Where do you want to start?
In the north wing.
North wing?
Yep.
Okay.
There was a strange chill in the Louisiana night. Distant gunshots, lights going on and off for no obvious reason. Strange, unexplained noises. Bed covers rumpled and dishevelled in rooms that no one had been in. Already, we were experiencing paranormal phenomena, and our investigation was yet to begin.
What I'm going to do is set this up in the corner of the room. I'm going to lay on this bed for a little bit, see if I get any activity.
Okay, I'm gonna go into that room next door. So if I scream or anything, what do you do?
I'll
and get me.
come and get you. Don't worry.
Look. Look. That's the bed that they fixed. Because there was an indentation in it, so we fixed it. There's another indentation in it.
But I think this would be a good spot right on the bed. Man, this is amazing with that wide angle. I mean, just amazing. Gets the whole room.
I'm going to lie in the bed and see if someone tucks me in.
Okay, right now I'm at the Myrtle Plantation. I'm upstairs in the north room, which is called the Fannie Williams room. And I'm going to test for any EVPs. Are there any spirits here? So please come forward. Please come forward and make contact with us. Please give us a sign. I know that you are here, but would you please give us a sign to verify that you are here?
We later found an EVP that sounds like the cry of a baby.
I'm not getting anything in this room. This is very frustrating because I felt so much stuff downstairs, and this is supposed to be the most active room, but I feel nothing. Nothing.
Chris?
Yeah?
There's a noise in the corner of the room.
Well, we were just in there.
No, over there.
Okay, now I feel something upstairs. Now I feel something. All right, let's try to make contact. Who's here with us? Who are you? Gail? The doorknob is moving. Is there a cat in there? Maybe there's a cat in there.
Why would a cat be in the bathroom?
Open the door.
Fucking hell, don't do that flashy thing. I got
Sorry, I'm just trying to take pictures because something...
Did you hear that? Does everyone hear that?
We all heard that. Who was making the sound in here? Can you tell me your name? That was weird. That was like there was scratching coming from the other side of the door.
Did you really see the handle move?
No, I was wondering, I didn't see the handle move, but I was wondering if the handle was moving because that door just moved away from me as I walked over here. Hello? Hello, who's in here? Can you speak to me? It's colder in this room. You notice that? We've got some activity in here. We've got a definite energy fluctuation, which is affecting the temperature. We're getting lights going off, changes in temperatures, which means that these entities, these spirits, are strong enough to manipulate our environment. Well,
I tell you what, there's a smell outside like burning incense.
Well, that's the candle I got, Gail. I got a candle burning.
No, it's not. It's like incense. Is that
Smell it. Smell it. No? Was that light on before in this room? Was this light on before, Gail?
No.
Well, it's on.
In that bathroom that we were just in?
No, this one.
No, I switched it off.
Well, it's on.
Too many incidental things were happening. Chris set up a camera and tripod to see if we could capture this mischievous entity.
Well, what I'm doing right now is we're getting activities in different rooms. Okay, so obviously they're transferring from room to room, and in doing as such, we're going to see activity, whether it's orbs moving or shadows or strange anomalies. Hopefully I can pick that up on camera.
We left the north wing and headed to the main wing of the house. And almost immediately, the camera recorded a strange anomaly. Within 2 minutes of us leaving, we captured on film what appears to be an orb moving across the floor.
Everything's locked up here. Hester, you definitely left the doors unlocked, didn't you?
Yes.
Why are they unlocked then?
I don't know. Excuse me, baby. I'm sorry.
Is this locked?
We had this one open before, right?
Yes, they were all unlocked.
Yeah, this is the one that,
Is this the one where the handle moves?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh, smell it?
It smells different from this afternoon.
I just smelled something over here.
smells of perfume.
It's not real. Is Hester still out there?
No.
Do you hear that walking out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did. You hear it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
I heard it now. There's no one here. There's no one, as you can plainly see, there's no one here. And Gail,
Yeah?
you heard the stairs, someone walking. There's no one down there. The door's closed. Hester's gone. You heard it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Chris decided he wanted to spend some time alone in the hall of the North Wing to see if he could connect with whatever spirits were present. As he prepared to sit down, the camera again captured what Chris believes to be an orb dropping down the wall.
So I'm going to sit here for a couple minutes, just kind of meditate, clear my mind, see if anything comes forward. If I don't feel anything, I'm going to call out to it, and then see if it comes forward. Ooh. All right, right now it's getting very chilly behind me. Do you want us to leave? 1 knock for yes, 2 knocks for no. Knock on the wall or knock on a door, or even on the floor. If you want us to leave, 1 for yes, 2 for no. Please respond. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Please respond. 1 for yes.
We think this EVP says, "Who is this?" The final day of our quest to find the spirit of Jayne Mansfield. The beauty of the soft early morning Louisiana light betrayed the darkness and mischief we'd encountered the previous night. Myrtle's plantation was a place that made me question my stance as a skeptic. But I felt sure that the strange occurrences we had experienced were not the work of Jayne Mansfield. So we left the plantation and drove east across Louisiana and back towards the city where our journey began, Biloxi. I wanted to hold a séance in the apartment that Jayne had spent her last days. Set back a couple of blocks from the sea, Jayne and her 3 children had been staying in the cabana courtyard while she performed a sleazy stage show at a nearby nightclub. It was this building that Jayne had returned to in the early hours of June the 31st, 1967, to get her children before setting off for a TV engagement in New Orleans, an appointment she never kept. Perhaps here we could finally make some direct contact with the beautiful but troubled actress. We had arranged for some of the current residents from the apartment block to join us, people with no connection to the tragic star, along with Angela Thomas, a local psychic.
I'm a psychic clairvoyant with empathic gifts. I do channel. Most of the spirits will come to me rather than me going to them. And what we really want to do is focus a lot of love and good intentions here today. It's very important for every individual to be able to ground and protect themselves. Many use meditation or prayer. Close your eyes and focus on that feeling of love and generosity as we want to make Jayne a very comfortable place to come to. Then we'll go ahead and connect together, either by holding hands or by touching one another's hands with the end of the finger. If you'd like, we should go ahead and either join hands or touch. And this helps to join the circle. And hopefully she'll assist us and join us here and be able to learn a lot more about her. The lights. Now we can focus a little bit more on Jayne. So I'm sending out a lot of love to Jayne. Asking you, Jayne, to be with us. We invite you, Sister Jayne, our friend Jayne, to commune with us. And I have impressions of Jayne. Allow me to be the instrument. Allow Chris to be an instrument. Okay, so we know she's working among us now. And I'm listening. She likes the peace. And what would you like to share with her? And we stay with Jayne in love, in love, in love, and good intentions. And there are 2.
I've got 3 spirits coming through. One is somebody's brother. And there's 2 females. Has anybody here had a brother that passed?
Yes.
Okay. That's you.
Sending the love. Send the love.
He's trying to come through, but I'm having a hard time with the vibrations. I think he really wants you to feel him. It's getting really pulled to your direction.
I'll never left you. Feel me. Feel me. You never hurt me. You always loved me.
Catherine was allegedly being contacted by her deceased brother. I hoped that this wouldn't prevent Jayne Mansfield from coming through herself, but I needn't have worried.
All right, I'm getting strong images of her death. Picking up the actual seconds when she died and right after when her body... it was pretty instant. She was still in pain. She did not want to let go of her body. She kept trying to force herself back into her body. It just wouldn't take. It wouldn't take. She didn't want to die. She did not want to let go. Hold my hand. She wants to show you something.
Babies, no babies. No babies. No babies. No, no babies. No, no. No, no. Good, no. They're okay. They're okay. They're okay. They're okay.
Her spirits are okay.
They're okay. They're okay. They're okay. She's smiling at us. And her heart no longer is breaking.
She's happy. She's happy. She's calm.
Jayne, is there anything else that you want to say as we end the seance?
We want to close the circle. Thank you all.
In the name of the light and all that is holy, I call upon you now. Release her. Now's the time to release her.
It had been one of the most intense seances we had ever experienced. It was also the first one where a member of the public had felt the strongest connection with our subject.
I felt Jayne Mansfield. I truly did. She was in so much pain. She didn't want to leave her children. Her children were everything. And it hurt her so bad to leave her children. And I felt her.
I think everyone seemed